1995, give you a little bit of a background of the whole history of Star Wars action figures. The first line came out in 1977 when Star Wars A New Hope came out. You know, those first line of action figures, if you still have them in the package, they're worth a crap load of money. And 1985, when the Power of the Force action figures came out, and they came out with a little collector coin along with the action figure. And then after that, nothing really happened for like another 11 years or 10 years. Then in 1995, that's when George Lucas was writing Episode 1, so I guess they wanted to get a little ahead of the game and start getting the merchandise out beforehand, you know, build some hype for the movie and then the action figures and everything for Episode 1. And so they started recreating all the old action figures from the past 3 movies. So, yeah, that's what I did. I started collecting. It was around that same time I was a little kid. So, this is my old room. And I have shelves all around, lining with action figures. All around. Get over here so you can see. Okay, so all the ones I have shown you around are the second Power of the Force line that came out, started in 1995, ended around when Episode 1 started coming out and all their action figures came out. So these are kind of the later ones here that came out in 2001, 2002, 2003. And here are the weird ones, the expanded universe ones, where it was based off of just the comic books or like video games, not like from the movies or anything. And these are kind of cool because, I'll show the Dark Trooper. Because when they came out with like a little 3D play scene. Like the card itself was a play scene. You unfold it, and you could, little diorama or something of. This one is the most expensive one, or the one that's worth the most out of all of them. They made 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I'm missing one, which is Princess Leia after she goes to the dark side, I think. And here's all the Episode 1 action figures. These two right here, that one and this one, are like really hard to find, especially, and that one. And Sio Bibble, and the Swimming Jar Jar. Yeah, the Swimming Jar Jar, whenever they had shipments of action figures, they were only limited to 1 per case, because I guess not a lot of people cared about having a Swimming Jar Jar Binks action figure. And then I actually have some from 1977, the original Star Wars figures there. And then some Return of the Jedi ones. And then when Power of the Force first came out, they came out in a red card, an orange card right there. And after a while, a year or so later, they turned to the green cards. Then they started phasing out the orange cards. And then I got some of the newer ones here. That one right there is signed by Ray Park, the guy who played Darth Maul. Let's see. And this right here, which is in the box, was oh shit. This one was a mail-in order from the fan club, the Star Wars fan club. I didn't get it through the fan club. I bought it at a toy show. But this one is Ula and Salacious Crumb, which is one of Jabba's dancers. So after Episode 1 ended, all those figures up there, they started going towards the Power of the Jedi line. Started putting out all these. It was pretty cool, I guess. They came with little fact books, each one. Then after a while, they got kind of lazy. And I know some of them, they just have a card. They didn't even come with a book anymore. So, show you all those. It's an old Tauntaun from the 80s. And right here is a special edition, as you could tell right there, is given out during the theaters. I don't know if you could read that. Return of the Jedi Special Edition, opening day. So, yeah, as you could tell, there's no UPC code on it, so it was never sold in stores or anything. And this is a mail-in from the 80s to get your Toy of Salacious Crumb. Yeah. I think it came like, you mailed in a bunch of UPC codes from like cereal boxes or something. Right here is the 300th action figure Star Wars, which is Boba Fett. So they made a big special version. So you want to know who the first one is. It was Luke Skywalker. Yeah, so that was the 300 one. All during the 90s, they had these movie scene 3-packs of figures that came out. And yeah, I think I got almost every single one. They even made some for episode 1 and everything. Minok Hunt was pretty hard to find in stores, especially Rebel Pilots and, yeah, the Death Star Escape. Pretty hard to find in stores, because I never found them. I found them at a toy show. Final Jedi Duel, that one you pretty much saw everywhere in stores. And when episode 1 came out, they just went crazy with every single thing imaginable. So I got this. This was a store, promotion thing for when it went out on video. Buy it on video now. It shows you how old it is. So, after a while, I'd walk up to people or workers and it's like, are you needing this anymore? Because I take it. And they say, no, go ahead, take it. I don't give a shit. So I was like, okay, cool. So I took it. Like, that's how I got this thing, too. This used to be at the Walmart, where it used to sit up for the display of all the Star Wars figures in the toy aisle at Walmart. That's how I wound up getting this. And down here, I got more of the expanded universe, just like, comic book versions of things. It's a cloud car. Right here, Jabba the Hutt with a 2-headed announcer. That's a real, downgraded version compared to... So, yeah. I got more crap stacked here. Just a bunch of stuff. Biggs Darklighter. Yeah, they came out with freeze frames after a while, so whenever you held it up to the light, so if you actually happen to have like a slide projector. I got this actually up in Canada. As you could tell, it's got a French episode 1 and Episodio 1. So, yeah. Nothing really to show. This is just another thing they made. Another thing I got in Canada that has 3 different languages on it. Oh yeah, it's open, and yeah, so I don't know, but I think it's pretty cool. It's Empire Strikes Back Dagobah playset, and then I got the old school action figure case. And I have a whole bunch of loose, old Star Wars figures. Hammerhead. And then, by the time I was, big enough, or whatever, to start playing with action figures, there was a store my dad would always go to where he got baseball cards, and they always had Star Wars figures, and this was before the new figures started coming out, but they all were missing their lightsabers, so I always just put toothpicks in there and pretended they were lightsabers. So, yeah. Episode 1 came out, and everybody went crazy, or at least marketing did, and there was so much shit made for episode 1. Like, you got Micro Machines here. You know, little Micro Machine Pod Racer. And then, like, so many, like, Happy Meal toys. And I got, these are all the Happy Meal toys that came out. I don't even know what the hell this is, what's inside here. Oh, it says right there, Anakin's Pod Racer. And what the hell is this? Jar Jar Binks Squirter. This is a whole planet Tatooine. So they just went crazy, and these are actually drink toppers. You put this on top of your drink, and you would, I guess, put the straw right there in the back, and then you'd slurp out of it. Yeah, collect all 12. You'd be totally cool. Here's just another toy. You would take that toy, strap it to the thing, and a little lightsaber handle, and go to town. This is a theater cup from seeing Star Wars Episode 1. I got Pez dispensers. Of what would you think? Star Wars. Ewok. Luke. Chewbacca. And then they also, as if that wasn't enough, they put out accessory packs too. They made four different ones that were like out all the time that I saw everywhere. But then they made 4 that you couldn't find anywhere. And they're like worth a lot more money than these. Yeah, so extra guns, extra little things that never came with your action figure. They made these little accessory sets. And I got a whole bunch of them. I got a whole bag here. Because, like, towards the end of Walmart phasing out these Star Wars figures, they had them all for like 25 cents a piece. So I bought as much as I could at the time. And then they also, Pepsi went wild. So did Mountain Dew, I think. And maybe Dr. Pepper, I'm not sure. But they had collector cans inside. And there's 24 different kinds. And there was that golden Yoda can that I never, ever came across. So I'll show you some here. No, so a lot of these were remade. There's old versions of almost all of these action figures too. And they made like so many different likenesses of Luke Skywalker. That one's more realistic. He's more thin than that version. And there's so many different variations. If you come across a few different variations of these action figures, one where the hand is closed all the way, or one is like that on the action figure, it could change the price from $8 to like $800. Some of them. And then some with or without the freeze frame. Usually the ones with the freeze frames are worth more. Just because, you know, it has something extra with it. And then these that are purple. There was a game called Shadows of the Empire, and I think there was also a comic book. The game came out, and these are some of the characters that came from it. I don't remember what is this? Cyborg Chewbacca or something? Oh, Chewbacca and Bounty Hunter. This one, or that's Leia from Return of the Jedi, I think. This one was the main character in the video game, Dash Rendar. And then they went to the Power of the Force, where they started doing these flashback photos. Right before Episode 1 came out, they put like a few of these out. You pull the flashback photo down, and it would turn to the version of them from Episode 1. Yeah. But there's Aunt Beru. She was kind of hard to find. So was Yoda. And I'll show you down here. So as we got down, these are kind of dusty. I haven't been down here in a while. I'll show you. Stormtrooper. They came out with these Comtech chips. And back then it had like a bunch of different sayings, or like 3 different sayings. You would buy a Comtech reader, and you would scan the chip by it, and it would say, you know, whatever. And those came standard for Episode 1 action figures, but yeah, there was only a few of the Power of the Force figures that came with the Comtech chip like that. And there were some action figures you could only get exclusively through the Star Wars fan magazine, the official one. And this one was one of them, for some reason. And then Reese. And this one, R2-D2 with holographic Leia, was a pain in the ass to find for the longest time and was worth a lot of money. It's kind of decreased in price now, but these were the ones that were like one per case. All on account of, like, nobody really thought no one would care about this, but collectors did. And a cool story about this action figure, when I was at Toys R Us one time, there was like 8 cases sitting out, unopened, and I went and took my mom's keys and slipped open each case and grabbed the R2-D2 with holographic Leias out of each one. Up until there was this one grown older man that noticed what I was doing, and I guess he knew what was going on too, so he grabbed the last box from me, and I was just a little boy. God. Oh yeah, I gotta show you that. I got a Rancor with Luke Skywalker. And then I got another mail-in, which is Cave and Muftak. And then I got one that's like a real oddity, which is this one. This one is the oddity. Here's some of the Episode 1 figures. And they go all the way around. But here we go. This one's the oddity. I found this one at a dollar store. See, look, it has Hoth Chewbacca, flashback photo. You flip it around, it's Aunt Beru. It's an Aunt Beru card. It even says right there, Aunt Beru. So someone was drunk at the Hasbro factory that day. At least for that one. I don't know. Maybe there's more, but that one's kind of a weird one that I just happened to find. One of a kind, maybe. And then I'll show you probably my favorite one. Or some of my favorite ones. When they first released the new Star Wars action figure toy lines, they made the lightsabers very long. As you could tell, like right there, that one was very long. And then they went to a shorter version, which was right there. And then there was like another variation where it showed just the half of his picture, Obi-Wan's picture. And this one goes for about $50 because that was like the very first issued one. This one's I think Spanish. I'm not sure. I think Spanish. So just kind of funny to see different versions from all over. This one was a mail-in offer fan club exclusive figure too, which was the bartender. This one was really hard to find too. It was a holographic Darth Sidious. I never found it in the stores. I got it as a Christmas present, which is pretty cool. And then I got that one in a mail-in offer. And Zuckuss, which was hard to find, I found down in Florida, 1998, I think. And I just saw it sitting in the toy store. We happened to run into Walmart, and I was in the toy section, and I saw it straight up in the front of all the figures. But my favorite out of every single action figure is this one. It's the Darth Vader with removable helmet. It's just really cool, I think. Yeah, oh yeah, detachable hand too. Yeah. That's that. I got, lots of other things too. We could spend all day here. Pez limited edition dispensers all lined up. What is this? Out of 250,000. And then I got you know, poster displays, the actual poster display that they had up. Let's keep baseball bats in there. And that's about it.